All right, this one's going to be fun. I'm going to tell you guys everything about my history with doing supplements, taking a little bit of the sauce, that fun stuff, in hopes that it finds the right audience. Maybe, I just see it. When I was in high school, like, steroids were not readily available as easily as they are today. And then when I got to college, that's when they came out with SARMs, which are selective androgen receptor modulators. And then now we have peptides, plus every supplement you could possibly imagine in the book. And I'm completely clean from everything now. But in my past, I have taken SARMs, I've taken steroids. I've spent probably, I think at the highest point, I don't know, $300, $400 a month on supplements, which is, that's like egregious levels of work right there. There was a point where I was taking probably 20, 25 pills every single morning before I even drank water. That was how I drank the water in the mornings, because I was fucking taking so many damn pills, dude. And to be truthful with you guys, I was huge. I was really strong. I was about 245 when I was taking steroids. And just for transparency, what I was doing was a mixture of testosterone and some SARMs. So I'll just give you the stack, just so you guys know. But I was taking between 300 to 600 milligrams of Test E per week. And if you don't know, Test E is a slow-acting ester, so you only have to inject 2 times a week. So I was doing 2 shots of that per week, and then every single day, on top of that, I was also taking SARMs. And the SARMs that I preferred to take were LGD for 1 cycle, and then I realized I was bloated, I was filled with water, it was just a disgusting look. So I stopped taking that, and I switched over to more muscle and tissue repair. And so for SARMs, that would be Ostarine MK2866, taking that daily. And then I would also take Cardarine as well. And Cardarine is kind of like having a third lung in your chest, so you don't really get tired. Because I noticed the first time I ever did a cycle, I just did standalone steroids, and I noticed my cardio just went to shit. I'm not kidding. Flight of stairs to get up to the gym where I go, I would be out of breath because I was just eating so much food, and I was taking the anabolics, and so my heart was in overdrive to support the muscle mass I had. During that time period, the highest I got was around 145 pounds of skeletal muscle mass, which is quite a bit. It was kind of freakish looking, very much looked like one of the bodybuilder guys that would compete in classic, minus my body fat percentage. If I were to lean down, I could have hopped on stage. But that was never the intention of why I did steroids, which is why I wanted to make the video, because I had a guy, one of my friends, he came up to me and he started asking me about taking a cycle. He really wants to hop on. And the first thing that came to mind was the question that when I was younger, I never asked myself. Why? Are you going to be hopping on stage? Is this part of your growth, or is it more so based out of lack? And what is the vibration? What is the energy that you're approaching steroid use with? Because I have nothing against it. I don't genuinely care. If you want to hop on it because you see yourself in your vision of where your life is going to go as this being a part of that, and you want to try it out, you want to expand, you want to grow in that sort of realm, that endeavor, and be a professional bodybuilder, or maybe just be one of these fitness influencers, then by all means, try it out, try it for yourself, but do it safely. Don't be an idiot with it. Don't overdo it. Be very careful about water intake, stuff like that. And so I don't think he had thought about that question, because he doesn't want to hop on stage. He has no interest in that. It was just, I want to be bigger. I want to be bigger than I already am. And just for your guys' imaginings here, this dude's already around 15% body fat, sitting at 225, right? And he's my height, so he's like 6 foot, around there, like 6 to 6'1", and just an absolute meat mountain. And so I'm just looking at him like, bro, are you serious right now? You want to be even bigger? And for what? And it always comes back to that same fucking feeling that I know a lot of guys today struggle with, and that's this bigorexia. You know, you have anorexia, you have bulimia, you have all these different conditions that you can, you know, essentially get as a human being for why you're going to partake in a certain diet, because when you look in the mirror, you don't see what you want to see. So now you have to manipulate it through these excessive exterior facets. And so bigorexia is when you look in the mirror, you're never big enough. You always see yourself as being like this skinny, fat version of yourself. And that's originally why I hopped on steroids. You know, I got so bought in to the social media presence at that time without realizing that all these dudes, they're blasting lots of gear like year round to look the way they do, and it's not natural, it's not healthy, and it's going to excessively age you because the entire time you're in a lower state of being. If you want to know why you age quicker when you take too much exterior bullshit, whether it's, you know, alcohol will age you, weed will age you, nicotine and smoking will age you, excess amounts of gluttony via eating food, that will age you, excessive thinking and thought, that can age you. Pretty much anything where you don't feel present in the moment, that is what leads to aging. Science is going to say it's something different, like, oh, well, you can't be out in the sun too much, that's going to age you. Or you can't eat certain foods, you have to eat these ones, that's going to age you. And the truth is that you just have to figure out for yourself what makes you the most happy in the present moment, like the most loving version of yourself. And so if that means that you're going to hop on a cycle because you genuinely love putting on muscle and you want to see the fullest extent that you can get to, and that's part of your growth trajectory as a soul, then by all means. But if you're just doing it because you'll never be happy in the present moment unless you have something exterior to fulfill you in that present moment, that is where we run into a little bit of a problem. And those are the people that should not be hopping on gear in the first place. And, you know, since I hopped off, I've noticed I feel so much healthier all the time. My skin is better. My strength levels are just as high as they were when I was on cycles and when I weighed a lot more and I was eating more food. And it's because I'm just happier. I'm just a happier guy, and I sort of identify as being strong. It's not this just eternal need to just constantly progressively overload and lift more and more weights all the time, and that's what leads to strength. It's genuinely like your conscious awareness. What are you aware of? Are you aware of your beauty? Are you aware of your radiance? Are you aware of how good your body looks and your muscles and how taut they are and how strong you are and how much energy you constantly have on a daily basis? Because health and fitness, like I've discussed before with like the disease video, it's a pendulum. And so it swings between two extremes. There's the one extreme where it is decay. And then there's the other extreme in which it is like unity and wholeness within. And that is health, like divine health, where you don't need all this excess bullshit because you just naturally are healthy. Like, would you need all the supplements that we are forced to take because of the scientists tell us, oh yeah, well, you should take that. It's good for you. It's good for your skin. You should take some peptides, right? Do we actually need that shit? Like, would you need it if you were actually happy in the present moment? No, you wouldn't. because your external reality, what you see in the mirror, is just a reflection of how you feel about yourself on the inside. And so to a degree, like, yes, I will give it to steroids and stuff. Like, if you want to put on a disgusting level of muscle, yeah, it's going to help. But how much of that is actually just a placebo? Like, you think it's going to work, and then you eat all the excess food and you do all the excess training, and you have this vision in your mind of being a meat mountain that weighs 260 pounds, then yeah, it's going to help you put on muscle quicker. But how many people actually want that? How many people genuinely need to be that version of them? Or are they just sort of indoctrinated into that mindset because they watch too much of these online fitness influencers and think, oh, well, you know, they have all these things, they have all these accolades, they get all the women, so I want that too. But do you actually want it from the same means that they are achieving it? The difference is you have to ask yourself the question of, like, where do you see your life going? Do you want to be eating 6,000 plus calories a day and injecting yourself with compounds? Or would you rather just be completely natural and be healthy and your skin be clear, because that's how you identify, that's how you carry yourself, and you genuinely love yourself, like truly love yourself, and you're present in the moment and you fill your days with things that are valuable to you, that you enjoy doing. Because when you're not present, that's when the thoughts seep in. That's when all that negative energy comes to you that's saying, oh, you're not good enough. You're not big enough. You're not hot enough. So here, let me present you a Band-Aid out here in the external illusory world that now you can take. But the entire time you take it, you're not actually dealing with the underlying root cause of why you're feeling that way in the first place, which is a lack of self-worth, self-validation, and self-love. I don't think there's going to be a huge, I mean, we're getting into this right now, but in the future, once people start to really understand consciousness and where their awareness goes and where their energy goes, that's the results they're going to see for themselves. I think that's going to change a lot. How many people are actually taking supplements in the first place? How many people are actually taking these drugs and injecting themselves with compounds? I think it's going to drastically decrease the more people start to sort of, I don't know how to say this, but like understand the power of their mind and start to reconcile, you know, hey, maybe I look the way I do because the energy I keep giving to the universe is a negative reaction to what I see in the mirror, instead of how we should be living, which is, you know, for an analogy, let's say you hop out of the shower, it's all steamed up, you know, you like taking hot showers, and out of nowhere, there's an outline of you that starts to draw itself into the mirror. So all that steam on the mirror just starts getting wiped away. And it's like your perfect physique. And so when you look in that mirror, you actually start smiling because you see the perfect physique in the present moment instead of just seeing what you don't want to be seeing. And that mindset shift to, I'm going to start seeing what my dream physique is in the present moment instead of constantly going outside myself chasing it, brings it to me quicker. That's the true sauce. You don't need all the steroids to achieve the body of your dream. You don't need the peptides to reverse aging. Really what you need is to sit with yourself and realize how much trauma and baggage are you holding on to that you can let go of, and what are the things in your life that you actually truly enjoy doing, and can you do them more in the future and be present while you're doing them? Because the more present you are, the more timeless you are. There isn't really time in the present moment. It just is what it is. But this over obsession with always looking to the horizon for your happiness instead of actually emotionally feeling that happiness in the present, that's what leads us to take all the drugs that we take. That's what leads us to the steroids, to the peptides, to the SARMs, to the supplements, all this shit, because we don't like what we see in the mirror and we keep reacting to it. But if you right now feel in your heart how good it feels to be the perfect version of you, like right this very second, I swear to you, it's going to manifest itself quicker into your reality for you to perceive it. You kind of have to be delusional for a while until it becomes a reality. But the more you identify as that version of you that you truly, genuinely want to be, that most loving, most self-validated version of you, it will change everything. Because you have to understand that you're like a shadow in this world. Your 3D reality, what you see in the mirror, is a shadow of the dimensions above you. And those dimensions are outside of time and space. They're more so in the astral plane and the emotional plane and the spiritual plane. So you have to start looking at the energies that you constantly keep giving to these things that are negative, these things that are weighing you down. And can you rewire yourself to right now feeling like you would if you were already in that dream physique? How would you feel? How would you move? What activities would you do? Because if you want to be that guy that has like an 8-pack and massive arms, you're shredded to the bone, you have to ask yourself the question, are you going to keep doing the exact same habits that you have when you are overweight? The answer is no, you're not. You're not. You're going to be doing different things. You're going to be using that physique in your day-to-day life because it's a part of how you identify. So you can't wait to have the physique to start doing the activities that version of you would be doing. Instead, you have to flip the script and you need to start embodying that version of you right now and watch as your reality that you are currently perceiving speeds up. Because it has to it has to catch up to what you have been emotionally giving yourself already, if that makes sense. Like, you're not going to wait till you are, that 8-pack version of yourself to start swimming every day or going out biking or going on long hikes or, long walks with your dog or going to the gym. You need to just start identifying as that version of you that already has the 8-pack and start doing the shit that version of you fucking does. Otherwise, it's out of alignment. Like, you can't want something that is that fit, that physically well endowed, without doing anything that version of you would do. It's the same thing with like weightlifting. It's the same thing with biking. Pretty much any venture, or even any creative venture. Like, you're not just gonna wake up someday and be like a Van Gogh in terms of like art and your intuitive ability to paint. You have to like identify as that first and paint from that state of being and tell yourself that you love what you're doing and just be present. And the more that you're present with it, the more that you practice it, the easier it gets over time, the more skilled you get over time, and then it just happens. It just happens. But it's not going to be like a magical switch that flips one day where it's like you went from 0 to 100 all at one moment. You have to give yourself to that identity that you wish to be perceiving in the present moment, which is right now. Change your habits and your actions to be in alignment with that, and then you will start to perceive that version of you coming in and manifesting quicker and quicker by the day. All right? So, if it's calling to you guys, if it's part of your growth, hop on some stuff, have some fun with it, just be safe while you do it. But if you're only going to do it because you're in a state of lack right now and you think you have to like keep up with the Joneses, I would highly recommend just stay natural. It's so much better for you. You feel better. You don't have to eat as much food. Just love yourself. Validate yourself. You're an amazing person. You're beautiful. You're charismatic. You're funny. You're a good soul. Okay? Tell yourself that on the daily basis and embody it, act from it, be it. Catch you guys next time.